I guess to, know who we were, you really got to go back to where it all started, and that was in Reno.
Look, it gets a little bit of a bad rap, for sure, It's kind of in the shadow of Las Vegas. But, the way we grew up in Reno, you kind of see a different side, It's a pretty freaking chill spot if you get a chance.
Sure, you have the stereotypes, but, it's a transit city, People come here to gamble and they get out.
A lot of hip cats kind of running through.
Marriages, divorces, girls with the big titties, they all come through, but living here, you just kind of phase that out. Nobody really thinks of Reno as a ski town, but learn to walk, learn to ski. That's how my family operated. The equipment was pretty rugged back then, The boots weighed 100 pounds apiece and you could barely walk anywhere. Mom would put on that jacket, I couldn't even move my arms, Oh man, I hated those, I was 6 years old, I couldn't even pee, You'd get zipped up in your little suit, and Mom put your hat on, and family would pack up the car and we'd head on up to Squaw Valley.
Those family trips, I hated them at first, to be honest. But, my life kind of separates into two periods. And that was kind of age 0 to 5. And then age 5 on, when my mom's brought me up to Squaw.
So Dad was the tennis pro at Soccer City Sports, and nobody would shut the fuck up about how he invented 52 pickup.
Mom's tough, but she's a good bitch. My dad, absolutely the man. Like, we've been tight ever since I was a boy. I was an only child, so not gonna lie, they're a little tough on me. Really want me to kind of rise to the top, and my mom was always pushing me, but I was always pushing her too, and so we had this good kind of symbiotic relationship where we constantly kind of pushed each other, and it never got physical. It was always sort of cerebral. But, it was something that me and her kind of had and cultivated over the course of a lifetime.
Keep going. Just keep going.
My family was like most in Reno. My dad was at the casino all the time, but luckily, when I was just about after I was born, my parents were about to default on their house, and he hit the jackpot in the slots. He knew the right thing to do. He took that money and opened up an IHOP franchise on the Carson Reno, right near Shoppers Square. First one in Reno, claim to fame. Still running to this day. But every weekend, during the winter, no doubt, we were heading up to Squaw Valley.
That's what it all comes back to, is it was the beginning of my life. Everything changed up in Squaw. That's where I met the boys.
Our parents put us into Squaw Kids. I think we were getting a little too rowdy for them to handle on their own, so they shipped us off to the ski school.
Yeah, Squaw Kids is where it's at, dude. They taught me so much shit, and I was so little, right? But they kind of believed in me and pushed me to be way better than I was when I started.
When we got in there, they gave a choice, you snowboard or you ski.
We started feeling a little, rebellious. We didn't want to hang out with our parents so much, so we started snowboarding. It was natural.
Once we got enrolled in Squaw Kids and we got to get on snowboards, things just took off.
It was fucking thrilling, and I never went back.
Dano, Big Al, Jay Bird, those are the boys, man. The little rippers I used to call them, man. Progressing faster than the rest of the kids, dude. Just way ahead of their time, man. You know what I'm saying?
I remember what my instructor said, which is, on the mountain, when you're bored, you can either crush or be crushed, right? And so I decided to crush it right then and there, and, that stuck with me, for sure. Name's J-Dog.
Yeah, man, Jeff. Jaybird, we called him. You know, Bird, because he flew, man. And I'm telling you, he flew.
Let's go, baby.
I have never seen someone pick up so much speed. His board would be chattering back and forth, you know, but he'd stay in there. He'd stay low, and he's really flying. And, you know, it's almost defying physics. It's just speed.
Let's do it.
Look, I love speed, for sure. When I'm practicing, I try to go as slow as possible to really get my mechanics down.
Can't be afraid to go fast, dude. Can't be afraid. No room for fear on the mountain.
You know, most of the time in the mountain, like, people like to, like, point fingers at me and whatever, you know, because they think I'm not that good, actually. Which is crazy because, you know, in fact, I'm actually just practicing to go at super high speeds later on.
I swear, he almost broke the sound barrier. He went so goddamn fast. He shit his pants. It was incredible.
Walk's a goofy boarder, for sure. You know, he's got crazy style.
Man, seeing Alex hit a jump, that's magic. When he was in the air, it seemed like time would just stop.
I remember the first time I saw Alex like really shred, and I was probably, you know, we were 11 years old. He was going down, and I literally did not even see him land. You know, I was looking around, and he just kind of kept spinning.
It was madness, dude.
I've never seen anyone move that board with such a whip, like such a hard-ass whip, than Walk. Like, it was literally undefyingly unbelievable.
Dropped out of school when I was in 4th grade, you know. Started working at the shop full time, up at Squad. And, you know, they took me in like family.
Dano, I mean, Dano's the most talented by far in the group. You know, he wouldn't tell you, but you know, I once saw him kind of go down the mountain, and you think he's falling, and then he picks up with one hand and the other, and suddenly, you know, next thing you know, he's just kind of doing handstands down the entire mountain. Go, 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 go! And he's a non-stop boarder for sure. It's crazy. I just never seen anything like it, man. I mean, you know, you find me one boarder that can do non-stop handstands down the mountain, and I'll show you down. Yeah, dude, I remember when Kiwi showed up. You know, I was doing one of my speed runs, and you know, this kid blazed by me, and I'd never, you know, no one's passing me on the mountain when I'm doing a speed run. So I'm like, who the heck is this kid? And I'm like, yo, keep an eye out, you know, for this kid coming down on skis. And he's like, yo, dude, that's the Kiwi. You haven't heard of him?
Good football.
Kiwi was something else.
I mean, yeah, no, Timmy's not just a skier, dude. He's an all-around rad dude. But, you know, he brought this sort of attitude that was like, fuck it, let's go. And, you know, we totally thrived on that, for sure.
Yeah, even though he was a skier, man, it wasn't long before he became part of the crew.
Squaw.
Every tournament we entered, we were top 3. You know, Grand Prix, you know, invitationals, it was just routine for us, you know? They dubbed us the 4 Kings of Squaw. We were just chasing good times, and nothing else mattered. Got invited to the Olympics. You know, that's really when the sponsorships came on.
Quicksilver, Burton, you know, Rosignol started hitting me up.
It was definitely tight. But I don't know, man. It was never about that, right? You know, I was just out there for the boys, right?
So when they called, you know, we gave them all the same answer. Nah, bro, we're good.
It was about love, and it was about Borden, you know, and it's about Squaw. First rode that peak when I was 4 years old. Dad said I couldn't do it, so I went up there and I shredded that pal. I was absolutely killer up there.
People really underestimate Squaw. 36,000 acres, you know, 16 bowls, 2,850 feet of vertical. I mean, this is expert terrain.
No, I guess we never saw a need to leave. You know, you got sponsors calling off the hook. What can they offer you that Squaw can't?
I guess part of it was we just didn't want to leave, anyone behind.
There's no need to leave Squaw. That's where the family is, right?
I mean, we were all getting offers, but not all of us were really getting offers. I mean, not many people really know about Miles. Spotlight doesn't always shine on the whole picture,
I mean, when we really started shredding, some of us excelled and some of us didn't, but, we stayed together,
Dude, I don't know how to ski, but I can probably weasel my way up to the area that we have to get to.
When I was hungover, Miles was always the first one waking me up. He wanted the first chair. He was always the guy handing me my first beer. He was always the guy landing the first backflip. Maybe not landing, but definitely trying it. He was a good guy to have hanging around, just always a good time.
I think like something we realized is that, no one would be calling us if it wasn't for Miles. Because we wouldn't be Borden. It's like he's the glue that held this crew together, for sure.
He wasn't the best, and he knew that. His learning curve was a little bit off, but his attitude, he never backed down.
The best!
I've never seen a skier with a better attitude than Miles. If he falls, he's always getting right back up, and he might fall 2 feet, later.
But he keep coming back. People would be yelling, Miles, stop, slow down. And he literally couldn't stop or slow down. So once he started going, he was going, and once he picked up some speed, man, you just see that smile on his face and you'd know, that's just Miles, man.
That's why we board. It's for kids like Miles. It's for Miles. And, I wish more people knew that.
With Miles around, we were all just kids having fun. And that's how we wanted it to be. But, eventually, kids got to grow up.
I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget.
Yeah, man,
It was a day like any other. Bluebird skies up on Scotts Peak and some fun runs. And Miles about to rip a big one. So we're set up. Got my iPhone out, and we're all cheering him on.
Go Miles!
But, he picked up a lot of speed, right? And, like, we're good. But he kept going and, picking up more speed.
Yeah, shred it up. All right, Miles. Whoa.
And, I should have stopped right there. But I didn't, I just kept filming. And I was like, yeah, Miles got it for sure.
We see him coming down and, it kind of starts listing over to the right towards some bushes.
Whoa, hey, don't go in there. No.
Thought he was just messing with us, But he just kept picking up speed.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Fuck. Where is he? Miles!
I drop my board, I start running over. And we lost him.
A 13 Action News update on a missing skier.
Looking for a skier who never returned from a run.
A search for a missing skier.
A resort at Lake Tahoe.
They have hope, and we have hope at this point, so we're not giving up.
Of course, they're in some very difficult conditions to search for the last several days. They've been measuring snow in feet up here.
Search crews are battling bitter cold and snow as the intense search continues.
There's a reason that those areas are closed.
And we're told the missing skier didn't have a beacon, a shovel, or other safety tools needed for backcountry skiing.
You know, we're sort of looking at each other and trying not to think the worst, but the worst just happened. And, you know, I know that backside slip behind those woods, and that's a pretty rough slip. You know, it gets steep back there.
The Tahoe area that's national forest, 850,000 acres of protected land. And at the speed he was going, man, I mean, he could have been anywhere. This shocked the community. You know, everyone squaw.
Miles, man.
Yeah, when he went missing, man, dude, that was the worst day of my life.
You know, we were all just clueless, man. We didn't know, you know, no one was giving us any answers. We tried going out looking ourselves in the woods a few times, but I mean,
you know, we had sub-zero temperatures for 2 straight days. You know, and everyone's yelling at each other and no one's digging vibes at all.
So you talk like, I don't even give a fuck, like, you're such a pussy ass bitch. Like, who in his right mind would get lost in the fucking woods? You know, like, fucking leave some trails like Hansel and Gretel.
Then the weather got so bad that's, you know, when things started to turn from, you know, missing persons to body recovery, and, you know, that hit home pretty hard.
In all our minds, you know, Miles is dead. And
all we could do was, you know, wait.
A body believed to be that of the skier has been found.
It's been 2 days now since a skier went missing.
He has serious injuries to his chest and internal organs.
We're getting the call from Dano. You know, he says, dude, they found him. You know, Tahoe Tessie found him. You know, 25 miles east of the lift.
Yeah, so Tess and I were out in the woods and we heard about Miles. And so we decided to go look, and she's got one heck of a nose on her. You know what? By Gumby, she found him almost immediately laying out there, freezing his little rear off. And then he wasn't moving too much, but she licked him and woke him right up. Yeah, so this is the hero, actually. Tahoe Tessie's her name. Oh, Tess. Yeah. Well, big girl, yes, you're Reed. Yeah. So, yeah, well, she's been skiing. She's only 3, since she's been here since she was 6 months. And I've skied here since, I think, 1967. So we get to know the hill fairly good after a while. But finding your buddy was just luck and a good nose.
The second I heard the news that Tessie found him, I didn't believe it. I thought I was dreaming. I remember running over, and you know, they wouldn't even let us close to him at that point. He was apparently pretty badly wounded.
Okay, so both legs were completely shattered. Looks like they might have been mauled by critters. Stage 4 frostbite in the fingertips and abdomen, rabies. He sustained quite a bit of brain damage, so he had multiple concussions, severe diarrhea, gonorrhea, mania, werewolf syndrome. Jeez. yeah, I mean, he really shouldn't be alive right now. But, you know, Dano signed the paper, so I just had to let him go.
Wheeling him out of there was one of the most bittersweet moments of my life. On one hand, Miles is alive, but he wasn't all back.
I'm just drunk. Not disabled.
I was wheeling him back from ski patrol through the basin. You know, that's when I got this idea. Maybe there was a way that, you know, we could get Miles back. I was standing over at the foot of the mountain with Miles, and he was shivering pretty bad. You could tell he was frostbit pretty much all over. So got him some hot cocoa. I couldn't stand seeing him defeated like that. Sure, it was a crazy idea, but I knew the only chance we had of saving him was gonna be getting him back to the top.
You know, and Dano had the idea. It's like, what would Miles want to do more than anything else in the world? And, you know, it's a no-brainer. He would have wanted to ski. So that's exactly what we did. You know, so we hop on the lift and we kind of have to smuggle him on, right? You know, it's like what, you know, no one's about to let us do that. And I swear to God, he's not even awake. You know, and I'm doubting myself, right? It's like, should we be doing this? You know, it's like you see your friend get that close to death, and you walk him up to the edge again. You start to doubt yourself, but, you know, but then I saw the look on his face. We got off the lift and he collapsed immediately. You know, it could have been from the drugs they gave him, you know, at the hospital, or the fact that he was paralyzed from the waist down. But we pulled him up and, you know, he said, you good, dude? And, you know, he had the smile on his face. So we were like, all right, you know, he's good. You know, if there's one person who always gets up when they fall, it's Miles. I didn't know how it was going to go, but I knew we had to try.
Squad! You wanna go? Squad! 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 Let's go!
At the end of the day, like, it was good just to have him back. And in that moment, I knew it was okay. I knew it was okay that he would never ski again. But, you know, that's Miles, right? Proving us wrong.
God, it was beautiful.
It's been a year. Miles, he's recovering. He's getting better.
Timmy. Oh, Dana.
He's still in the wheelchair, but he's getting there. Being able to kind of return to the El Dorado, you know, and kick it with the boys. To us, that's life. That's what it's all about. You know, there's nothing better than a plate of tendies, kind of bring everyone back together. And, you know, Miles there, you know, Kiwi's there, you know, Big Al, Dano. You know, it's good to be back in Reno. You know, at the end of the day, we're still just some kids from Reno.
You want to roll out?
Oh, well, we have to pay first.
But then you want to roll out?
Yeah. And then I want to roll out. But, literally.
Yeah, they weren't too happy when they found out we took Miles down, considering his injuries and all. But if you ask me, you know, the ends justify the means. And I mean, come on, man. You know, we're gonna find a way to have fun.
Just fucking do it.
Il y a toujours quelque chose qui cloche. Il y a le temps, oh il y a les gens. J'ai vu, j'ai cru pouvoir tout faire, tout voir avec mon espoir. Et maintenant qu'il fait chaud, que les gens bronzent, tous en maillot, mais sur cette plage, j'ai si froid. Je sais, tu ne reviendras pas, tu es si loin.